Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Mark. Sorry. Welcome. What the heck. Welcome, everybody. This is Mike, and I am going to be doing some inking. Wait, let me see if I can do this a little bit here. A little bit there. Is that better? So, working diligently, of course, on my... Hold on, I gotta turn Gary... I'm watching Gary Shipman on the other stream. Maybe I could put Gary up in a little window, a share screen window. And, here we go. Here we go. I'll stream snipe Gary a little bit. Here. Wait, no? Yeah, like that. Then we can watch Gary work while you watch me work. Is that bad? Oh, hi, Mike. Hi, D-Fresh. Hello. Like and share, everyone. Like and share. Oh, yeah, I haven't done that myself. This won't be on long. I mean, I won't be on long because going to dinner over at my mom's house. But I thought I would pop in and do a little bit of work while I could. And hope some people enjoy the process of me actually creating the comic book that I am currently crowdfunding. Because, as you know, oh yeah, well, maybe I should do that. As you know, Lone Star Mind of the Monster is available now on Indiegogo. We are at $11,568 with 183 backers, which is better than my last campaign, better than my first campaign. We'll leave out Lone Star 2 for now. And we'll call it an anomaly. But Lone Star, Mind of the Monster, it's live, it's now, it's going well. I think, look, it's not going to make me rich, but it's going to make me happy. So, Hellenic Damon says, salve. Well, salve to you too. I've been watching a bunch of A Song of Ice and Fire videos, and it's making me want to read through the books again, says Flybox. Yeah, the books are great. So, Mike, who's the pro you're going to try to ink? Like, oh, really? Really? All right. You know what? Darn it. Hold on. I just took a shower, so the towel is falling off my head. I'll be back in a moment with my hair in a ponytail. Not that you can see it.
I got my knife back. I stabbed like 9 people in this one line. Oh, I was doing so good. They're pushing. We got 3 NGs.
Sentry's going up.
At least you heard lots of beeping and bopping from my kids. Hello, all I see a page but no pro. I'm the pro. I'm her. We're gonna get to it. Give me a second. Ah, water. Do not become addicted to water. Alrighty then. So once again, back to the inking process. I think I need to juice up my my ink because it's a little.
You're pushing with
little dry or a little thick. That's probably too much water. So let me use a quill because that should actually. Let me stir it up a little bit here. Sorry. I know you guys can't even see what I'm doing or talking about, but I know you believe in me. Is this a real live stream or one of Mike's fake ones? This is a fake one, obviously. I just prognosticated that you would be asking that question and answered it out of time because I'm a prophet of the Lord. Just kidding, God. Don't strike me dead, please. Thank you very much, God. Love you. Love you, God. What the hell? That's my mom. Hold on. Jeez. Right when I start streaming. Of course, my mom calls as soon as I start streaming. Why not? Only a few days left to go on Titan 2. Link is in the chat. Also, why did last night's live stream get struck? It didn't. I just looked at it. It's fine. What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? What you talking about? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take care of this last little bit of background here and here. And then I am going to separate these pages so that I can just focus on this. Because as odd as it may seem, manipulating a double-page spread is not as much fun as one might think all the time. So I'm just going to do it. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm just going to throw this line down here for the mountainscape. What are you talking about? What live stream last night got struck? Did you guys see John Malin was doing a how to draw like a pro stream, and he kept asking people for a script so he could do a layout, and nobody had a script, so he finally relented and he drew his version of the layout of Lone Star, Mind of the Monster, page 1. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, John was here yesterday. John was not yesterday, 2 days ago. He was the second backer on my campaign, so I do appreciate that from Johnny Boy. Oh, Johnny Boy, the pipes. No, wait, that's wrong. So, oh, Danny. Oh, Danny Boy, don't sing like I know. I could hear it before you even typed it. I could hear it. We love you, Mike's mom. If I knew your number, I'd call you during every live stream. Oh, that's why you don't know my number, P Money. That's exactly why you don't know my number.
Okay, let me just pop in my friend.
Although I could just invite you guys on the stream, but at some point that gets a little weird. The end of the stream last night got really contentious between Mecha and Testify, so I think I let it go on a little too long. That was a little uncomfortable even for me, and I knew the audience probably didn't enjoy that, so I don't know. I could probably cut it out of that episode, but then I have to re-upload the whole stream over again, and that's no fun. All right, nobody else is going to have their little hooves down here, so I'm just going to do some simple ground. Nobody even pays attention to this stuff. I know I could do it like much better, but really I just want to separate these two pages. Wait a second. Where's this horse going? This horse goes here. All right, let's give it a leg here. Maybe bump. See, the problem is when I draw these little lines here, and I know this is the knuckle of a horse's leg, a colorist is going to see that and be like, I don't know what it is. So, man, for people who color their own work, they probably have a much easier time getting the colorist to do everything right. Kelsey Shannon. Kelsey seems to be good about following through on every little bitty thing. I'll be honest with you, even a lot of good colorists will be clueless about some stuff, and it's a little disappointing when you get it back. Because you don't want to be hand-holding a colorist and being like, oh, could you do this? And can you do this? And could you do this? And blah, 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 blah. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Let me take this thing down. Let me move. All right. All right. So I'm just trying to wrap this up. Inking with my Zebra Maru quill with Dr. P.H. Martin's ink.
is like 2.
I wasn't fond of Testify's treatment of Elliot. Yeah. Here and there, it got a little, yeah. That's why I said, he can kick you. How are you doing tonight? And I hope everyone in the chat is doing good, says James Hayes. I hope everyone is doing good too. I also hope they're doing well, but it's much more important to do good than it is to do well. All right. Right after you checked the internet and found Liam's stuff on some forum? What? All right, here we go. I'm separating the 2 pages. Bum, 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 bum. Oops, I ripped the tape. All right, I'm separating the 2 pages from this side now. Bum, 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 bum. I'm using magic tape to stick these together. FYI. Nice. All right. So now I can just focus on the 1 page, and I can take this magic tape off the other side. This will actually make it easier for me to scan too. There we go. There. Magic tape. Look at that. Doesn't even damage the paper. So wonderful. It's like magic. There we go. All right. So that half of the page. That half of the spread. Done in the sun. Oh shoot! I gotta fill the blacks. You know what? Let me fill the blacks before I move on.
What the heck just happened?
Just to see that this page is in the can.
What happened?
Ah, shoot. You know what? I didn't do any of the whiteout. All right. Let me finish this half of the page. Let me finish this half of the spread first. For those who don't know, this is page 11 of the Lone Star 3, Mind of the Monster. You can expect this level of highfalutin quality on every page. You cannot expect 1,000 Mongol warriors on every page, but be that as it is, the quality level, I believe, should maintain. And you know what? This time around, I'm sorry. It may not make for the most exciting YouTube tubery in the world. But I'm a comic book artist. I want to make comic books. I don't want to be a YouTube star. And because of that, I want to focus on getting more comics made and delivered and having people enjoy the arts and crafts. The art, the craft, I don't even know how to say it. What I have put my entire life's work into is making good comics, and that's what I want people to enjoy. So I have to actually make the comics in order for people to enjoy them. And so if something's got to give, if it's the comics got to give or the YouTube's got to give, the YouTube's gonna give. So I do apologize in advance for the next several months or years of my dull, boring YouTube. But that's not what's important in my life. So, and yeah, I understand it's marketing, but look, if I can make a living doing this, I am blessed. So far, so good. And this new campaign, $11,568 in like 2 days. Yeah, I think I can make a living. So there it is. There it is. There's props to Mike on releasing consistently good work and actually getting books out. Thank you. Psh, nah, man. That's his name. Psh, nah, man. I'm not making a weird sound or something. But yeah, isn't that the point? I would think that was the point. But people got to do what people got to do. So you got to have principles. You got to have priorities. And I know what mine are. And thus the chips fall where they fall. And I'm okay with that. I'm good with that, actually. Quite good with that. And, in a year's time, my Bitcoin should be, making the right investments is also a very important part of life. So, hello, Inkwell. Do you Inkwell? Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, I have to go over this twice because I just watered down my ink so much that I'm not getting a solid black, which is kind of irritating me a little bit. But now I have too much ink in my Inkwell to put more ink in it, and thus not have to go over my blacks twice. Times suck. Mike should become a VTuber. Then in a gal gets like 30,000 views and her sketches aren't even as good as Malin. What is Inkwell? No, dude, I'm out of XRP. At one point, I had something along the lines of 12,000 XRP. But, yeah, I noped out of that, man. I noped out of XRP because, boy, I don't think it has a future in a world where the IMF, the big countries of the world are going to be making their own cryptocurrencies. I mean, the US is going to make a digital dollar. The freaking IMF is going to make their own currency, which they expect to be a world currency. And all of these things, and none of them are just saying, oh, what we should do is just adopt XRP. When that's the case, XRP, I mean, I don't have a silver or a crystal ball or anything, but I don't think XRP is going to compete as the reserve currency it intended itself to be for the banking system if, again, the USD, the IMF, at some point China, these other huge countries are going to make their own digital currencies. I don't see how XRP competes with that. So that's why I noped out of XRP. It just it's that's a thing in the crypto world is and I apologize to everyone who's bored by this topic, but hey, enlighten yourself. Is that sometimes something looks fantastic and you're like, wow, that is a great asset, that is a great technology, that's a great token, and I'm going to invest in it because the world really needs it. Case in point, Pundi X. Pundi X had and they're still around, but they had a point of service machine that would allow people to purchase and use cryptocurrency at convenience stores and at this, that, and the other. And I'm like, wow, that we could really use. And then, Pundi X was freaking skyrocketing, man. After I bought into it like at 0.01 cents or something, and it got up to like, I think like 2 or 3 cents. So it was like huge returns. And then then the Winklevoss twins came out and they're like, oh, look, we've got an upgrade to the standard point of service machine that'll allow it to accept cryptocurrency. And I'm like, oh, well, that just totally negated the need for Pundi X. And so I noped out of Pundi X, and it has collapsed. But that's the thing. It's like, it's not necessarily... It's not necessary. Oftentimes it's first to market. First to market wins the game. But sometimes it's like the idea is by some young upstart, and then someone else takes that idea and goes, oh, that is an important idea. Here, let's do it better from another company that's got more assets perspective. You know what I mean? Mike, I have been liking Scott Campbell's work lately. His name's Jeff. It's J. Scott Campbell, I know. I have been trying to make a hybrid for my comic. Would there be a problem with it? A hybrid what? A hybrid like a furry? What are you talking about? What kind of hybrid are you talking about, man? Sky Marshall Marsh for $5. Thank you for asking. And thank you for the $5. Hey, Mike, is inking with nibs difficult? Sometimes it is. Sometimes you get a really bad nib. And this is, I mean, just the skill itself of inking with a nib is one thing. But when you're inking and you've got a bad nib, and boy, that does make it difficult, even for someone who's really skilled at inking with a nib. A bad nib will just ruin your whole day. It used to be that you could like train nibs. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I don't use those nibs anymore. I buy the zebras now. The quality control from the Japanese nib makers is so much better than Hunt. Hunt probably makes so much money just selling crappy nibs to Michaels and all the little cheapy art stores. I mean, you think you can get them at flipping Walmart, right? All right, I'm gonna do white later, so I'm gonna get back to this page. But the Japanese nibs are just the quality on one from the next. It's so uniform. It's fantastic. But inking with a nib, it's got its advantages. It's got its down. What do you call it? Advantage and disadvantages, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. Nibs clearly not as flexible as a brush because they're made out of metal, not out of hair. So you are limited by what kind of line weight you can give from a press. If you do press deep and create a thick line, that can take forever to dry, and you can end up smudging if you're not paying enough attention. So yeah, there are some issues, but you can get some very consistent lines. I'm not going to say you can get a thinner line with a quill than you can with a brush, because you can literally get the fine tip of a hair's breadth with a brush. You can get a very, very good thin line with a quill as well. But quills are more consistent because if you just touch it to the paper, you get one level of line, right? And it's going to be a consistent line, almost like, you can't even see what I'm doing. Almost technical pen proficient and consistent, right? But then you start pressing down on it, you get a thicker line. Oops. Ink. Right? So you get that variation, and then you can do variations like this and get some very cool textures. Again, now that's going to take time to dry, which I'm not going to allow, so I'm just going to go ahead and dab that. Dab. So, anyways, does that answer the question? I am hoping. If Mike is becoming a VTuber, his avatar should be his PFP, just a little bit chunkier. What? VTubers are streamers that use a motion capture and VR suite. So they appear as an animated character. Some are 3D, but most are 2D waifus.
Oh,
okay, I have no clue. I feel like I don't even want to dip into that. Never mind. Question terminated. Wait, what? You foodies are evil, says James Hayes. Hey, I'm a foodie. Oh, are you talking to me? Say what, Inks? What's up, Kevin? You want to pop in? Kevin is trying to get the link. I shall return. Time for food. All right. I'll drop the link in our chitty chitty chat bang. 9 p.m. And before Ricky around 9. When is that? If I'm not at my mom's dinner tonight. Alright, not the bullpen. Let me drop it in D&Q. Where's D&Q? There we go. I'll drop it in D&Q. Because this is an art stream, I don't want non-artists popping in here. So, oh, thanks, Kevin. Kevin's sharing the love. Okay, I don't. All right. Pick-a-me is the best VTuber. I shall return. He's so hungry, he's gnawing on his pen. So what time does Mike Eats on a live stream portion of the show begin? Well, I got dinner at my mom's after this, so not gonna happen. Hey, look at that! We got 2 more backers. We're up to 11,593. Thank you. Please do go if you are new. If you have not seen it before, check out my comic. This is the comic I'm working on. This is the comic I'm selling at Indiegogo. LoneStarComic.com will take you right there. Lone Star, Mind of the Monster. It is the 3rd episode of the Lone Star trilogy. You can go here, scroll down if you're new, and just grab the Lone Star Heart, Soul, and Mind pack, and it'll get you issues 1, 2, and 3. So do it. I don't know why my Kim Jong-gi cover disappeared from here. I need to fix that. I mean, I could fix it right now, but I'm in the middle of inking. Mike is the only artist in this here stream. Oh, currently, indeed. All right. I wish there was some way to have this on here, but have it just be a little bit smaller. Or maybe I could just turn my camera so that what I'm doing is here. Is that slide on? This light. All right. Apocalypsagon says, well, I very much appreciate the demonstration. I've just been practicing with a brush for almost a year now. Yeah, brushes. Actually, you know what? Let me. The thing is that my ink is so thin right now that if I use a brush on stuff, it's not going to be it's not going to scan well. So, but yeah, I don't know what kind of brush you've been using. Apocalypsagon, whatever. Apocalypsagon. What kind of brush you've been using? Because it's almost embarrassing, the brush that I'm using now, because it's like you can get it at any like Michael's or whatever. I spent decades just using Kolinsky Sable brushes, which is kind of this industry standard for inking. And now I'm using these little things. These little brush pens from Pentel, because they give me such a consistent line. They don't, I mean, they have their drawbacks as well. But boy, like right out the gate, when you pick it up and start using it, it gives you this great consistent line. You know what I should do is I should just have like 3 different ones. Because once you've been using it for a while and it kind of starts drying and stiffening up, it can start to irritate you, or irritate me anyways. But like when it's been resting overnight, like look at this here. Like this one has been resting, right? It's got the ink on it. But watch what happens. I'm not going to put any ink on it. It's just the ink that's been left over. And I don't know why this happens, but look, it's like the whole brush has softened. It's back to that pristine. And maybe it's because I put a couple of drops of water in the barrel. Because if you put too much water in the barrel, or if you put any ink in the barrel, then it just gushes out, right? But if you use it as a dip brush and you just, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about it, but it's never as good as it is for the first, I don't know. It depends on the day. If it's not humid enough, or if it's, just too dry, the brush will start drying out too quickly. But it's an interesting thing because these are machine made, and they'll give me that hair breadth line. So it's really, really quite good. Kevin Sharp says, yikes. What? Yikes. Laptop is updating. Be it a few minutes. All right, brother. It's all good, bro. It's all good, man. Yeah, if any of my other artist friends in the D&Q room want to pop in here. As I did mention, I'm going to my mom's for dinner, so I was like, well, we're supposed to have the auction tonight, but we'll see if I get in early enough to do the auction. I assume we will, but it might just be a little later than usual. I think Eden has some stuff she wants to auction.
It doesn't show slides. It shows
Eden's trying to make some money. She's investing in Bitcoin now. Ha 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 ha. Yes, good girl. Problem with the Raphael number 2. I just ordered a Winsor Newton to see. No, Apocalypse again. I started with Winsor Newton, and I am talking 20 years ago. And actually, I'm talking longer than that. 20. When did I first start using Winsor Newton? In 1993. 27 years ago, I started using Winsor Newtons. And even back then you could get pretty much any Winsor Newton and it would be consistent and great. But not long after, a few years after I started using them, the quality control dive bombed. And the art store told me that it was like their brush master or however you want to call it retired, and so whoever it's like having a chef at a restaurant, right? You go in and like the food is fantastic and you go there for years and every single time it's freaking great, and then one day you show up for your meal and you're like, what the heck is it? What's going on? And then you find out that the head chef is gone, right? And it just changes the entire restaurant. It doesn't matter if all the recipes are the same. It doesn't matter if all the staff is the same. Nothing matters except that head chef is gone and it's not the same restaurant anymore. It's kind of what happened to Winsor Newton. Raphael, I think, still has fairly solid quality control. So, so the problem is that you order a Winsor Newton, 1 out of 4 or 5 brushes will be good. When you're talking about inking. Now, if you're just talking about slapping down water like a watercolor brush, then most people probably don't care. But when you're inking, you need that razor sharp tip. You need that hair's breadth tip, and you need it where it doesn't have a leading tip, which is when the lead. See, brushes, it's very hard to tell. I don't have any prepped brushes here, but brushes, if I wet this, it would come to this is a Raphael, by the way, a number 4. Here. So I wet it. It's supposed to come to, sorry, this isn't focusing well. Sorry. It's supposed to come to a single hair's breadth tip. Now, there's an art to that, because if you let that single hair be too long, that leading hair is what kind of like touches you off on the paper. If it's too long, it's going to screw up basically the directionality of your brush, right? Because sometimes you're doing curved lines, and that single hair hits the paper and it bends the direction of your tip, and it can really screw it up. So the single, I don't even know what the perfect lead is, but that single hair that is at the very tip of your brush has to be perfectly distanced from the rest of the brush in order to have a consistent solid line. And that's the crazy thing. These cheap little $4 to $6 things, they're machined so every single one of them has that perfect tip on the single hair brush. No, Joe, you don't trim your brush, because as I was pointing out the other day with Eden, a natural hair has a tapered end. So it's not a hair's breadth. It's it is like microns across because it comes to a point, like a chiseled, not chiseled, a barreled, tapered, rounded point. And it only works if it's untrimmed. Once you trim that, it becomes a blunt tip. So this ain't no joke, man. This stuff is this is like, you know, this is the stuff that inkers deal with. Like inkers that are like real inkers that know how to use the real tools, not just no offense, Kevin, but not just guys grabbing markers and just going to town. You know, you can't get the same line from a marker. Never, ever, ever. I sent a message on Indiegogo about my missing books. Thank you. All right. I will check into that right now, actually. A new message from ba. All right. Not having a full address to all right, brother. I will get to that ASAP. ASAP, sir. ASAP. And it looks like I got another. Oh shoot. You guys can't read that, right? It's too small to read. Sorry. I mean, hold on. Let me blow this up and see if. Shoot, could you read that? Do I have to delete the stream? Dadgummit.
What?
I'll just go back and trim that out later. How do you feel about digital inkers? That's fine. I mean, digital inking is its own thing. I'm personally, I just hate working on that. I like, and you don't have any original art, which is also kind of a peeve of mine. I didn't see it. Nice try, Mike. Jalapeno milk. What? Mike's used a G2. Is that what you mean by a G pen? You mean these suckers? These? Pilot G2s? Yeah. I mean, obviously you can't get the same quality control. You cannot get anywhere near the same line width or line. You can't get the same lines. It may be easier, faster, all of that stuff, but yeah, it's not my shtick. I've used it, and I might use it for something that's not important, but no. Nah, man. Nah. Where is my too small? Yes, I don't know what that is. Didn't see it. Nice try, Mike. Good. Glad you didn't see it. Hope nobody saw it. Yeah, if anybody is missing anything from the previous campaigns, I either have a reason or something happened. In fact, somebody messaged me. This is weird. Somebody messaged me that they hadn't gotten their package, and I went and I looked it up on the thing, and it said that the post office was still waiting for it, and I'm like, what? This was July. So what I can imagine is that either between my label printer and my kitchen, somehow that particular label disappeared, which that's probably what happened. Or when I dropped it off at the post office, it didn't get scanned in, and it just vanished from the post office. I'm gonna say it's probably my fault, or one of the kids' faults probably. But yeah, if you haven't gotten your thing, and it's not because I don't have my slabbed books back yet. I don't have some of the cards back yet from the artists And I don't have
Thank you, Lobo.
signed books back from what's her face, Caitlin Bennett. I think other than that, I should have. Oh! The Metal Prince, the Weldon, the Metal Prince. You've been practicing, Nigel. I have not been practicing, which means that you would kick my butt at Age of Empires because it has been. I haven't had time to play that game. I ain't got time for that. Free Eden. Eden's like asleep in the other room. No, she's probably not asleep. I don't know what she's doing. Hey, Isaac, do you know what time we're supposed to go to Bachan's?
You have to call Mommy.
I have to call Mommy. She's in the other room. Well, you kick my butt at drawing and inking. Well, it's not a competition, man. But I'm glad to know that if it were, I would be kicking your butt. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Is there auctions tonight? Like I was saying, I was planning on it. If I get home from my mom's house tonight early enough, then I would certainly like that to be the case. I don't know. Do you guys mind if the auctions start kind of late? Later than per usual, it is. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Here, let me adjust my camera. Let me actually double check some stuff too. Cool. Kevin is inbound. Kevin Sharp. 40 people watching now. Hit that like and share. Thank you very much. True, I just want to play Age of Empires for fun. Just joking, appealing to your ego. I have no ego. What do you mean? The final day of the first 30 days. Huh. HowToDrawComics.net is live now. Let's see what they're doing. Da, 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 da. Oh, Kyle Ritter's in their chat. Ha. Oh, Kyle. Let's not talk about Kyle, shall we? Mike's middle name is actually Late. You know what? I am not. There was a point in my life where I was never late for anything. It's slightly different when you've got to rely on and wait on other people.
Yeah.
You know why that was? It was because my dad was always late, and I hated it. And so therefore, I was like determined to always be on time. But now I'm my dad. Mike's ego can bench press 450 pounds with one arm. Interesting things are happening to me. All right. Any other inking questions? Those were fun. I like answering art questions.
Watch out.
Midnight auction should be advertised first. A midnight auction? Oh, on the East Coast. Gosh, that probably... See, that's the bad thing. Is like East Coasters, they don't get in here on time. And so it's like they're not part of the auction. That's it's kind of a no bueno thing.
No bueno.
No bueno.
Bro, why you kill me? You're friendly.
Why you kill me, bro? How do you draw? Just like this. Do I ever ink in blue? No. Negatory. I ink in black and white, man. Black and white. I do have blue ink, but I use it sort of like watercolors, not for actually inking. Because it's a much more robust blue than any of my watercolors. Maybe I should just buy some better watercolors. I don't know. Because once you lay ink down on, and Gary Shipman will tell you this because he inks with he uses colored inks for watercoloring, which is kind of weird, I think. But yeah, once you lay ink down, you can't change it or anything. It's just, it sets exactly where it is. You can't put new colors on top of it and have it sort of blend together. Ah, and here's Caesar elect Kevin Sharp.
Hey, Mike, what's going on, buddy?
Inking like a pro.
Yes, you are. Now, what's this I hear about my inks?
Oh no, I was just commenting on your tools.
Oh yeah, well,
no, your inks are great for what you use.
sorry, the dogs were going crazy. No.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've done that in the past, and all of DC Universe Online Legends I used markers on, and it was considerably faster. Right, inking with a marker is so much faster than inking with real tools.
Yeah, my thing is I love brush inking. It's going to take some serious learning practice. And so just to get by, I'm kind of faking it and stuff.
Yeah,
so
you should just practice like on some doing like little sketches that you could do for like the auctions or to throw up on eBay or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I learned how to ink with a brush on an issue of Solution for Malibu.
Oh wow!
I worked out all my kinks just banging out an issue with a brush.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of brush inking, man. It's weird. Like I really love heavy, like the brush inkers. Like Dexter Vines is one of my all-time favorite guys.
Yeah, Dexter's great.
So many Carl Story and there's a lot of guys.
Yeah, Carl Kiesel, Carl Story, Mark Farmer. So many great brush inkers out there. Gary Martin.
Yep, absolutely. And so yeah, and it's one of those things with the. Now, I don't know how to phrase this properly, but there's, I've kind of figured out, with the exception of a few people that I've worked with, it doesn't get the effect I want or the vibe. Usually, it's a lot of these kind of snappy West Coast quill inkers that seems to get where my head is at, and I love the craft. That's the best way to say it. I love the craft,
Yeah. Indeed. Hey, Mike, if you knew that your page will stay black and white, would you approach it differently inking-wise? Yeah, I would. I mean, I would spot more blacks. I would make sure that I leave a lot open to color, even though it looks like everything's very, very detailed, but it's detailed in the sense that I draw all the figures and I draw all the details and stuff. But yeah, if this were just going to be a black and white book, I would utilize the black in a way that would keep that in mind, and I would make figures pop by using negative space and all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, I do draw 4 colors, so it's actually a really good question. A backer or 2 more, and we will reach 48K on Dragon Guard.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, we had a couple of people refund the last couple of days, and so it dropped the total back down.
Oh yeah. Did they say why or no?
They were just like, "Hey, I got some bills coming in, and I can't afford it," and blah blah blah. And so I understand,
Yeah, totally.
But we are here for Mind of the Monster, Lone Star. You guys got to get out there, check it out. If you haven't backed it, you need to get over there, check it out, back it. We're here. We're gonna have some fun.
Back it up. Yeah, I gotta leave in probably less than an hour, but
oh, okay, cool. Doing dinner with the family.
Doing dinner at my mom's house. We're gonna have some sashimi.
All squid.
That's raw fish for you squares. That's bait for you Southerners.
Oh my goodness.
Back both of them, says Mark Anthony. Thank you, Mark Anthony.
Exactly. Thank you, Mark Anthony.
And yeah, I will try to get back in reasonable time in order to do auctions. But I'm going to dinner at 6. Auctions are supposed to start at 7. So
this is one of those nights where I'm going to be up late anyway, probably. So it is fine. I've had an absolutely awful day. So awful 2 days, to be honest with you. Car problems, bad sushi.
Oh no!
Yeah. This one place nearby that's in town, and you got to understand. I'm not necessarily assuming Southerners know sushi as well as the West Coast or anything like that.
I think it's a fair assumption that you do not.
Yeah. But yeah, I got tired of this place. They left the vein in the shrimp, man, and oh, it's so gross.
Oh. Interesting point. Also, warm water sushi, probably a little more dangerous than cold water sushi.
Oh.
And West Coast is warm water. I mean, East Coast is warm water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I would never, ever, and I would never, even before I was allergic to shellfish, I would never eat any shellfish from the East Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Maine is cold, but like Louisiana oysters, hell no, dude. That's like freaking what do you call it? Flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah.
Territory. Yeah. You don't get that in cold water oysters, but you do get it in warm water oysters, and yeah, Gulf of Mexico oysters are a big no for me.
Dude, like this restaurant's just been awful with their stuff, and I try to give them a chance, and I'm like, man, I keep seeing that vein thing. See, like I don't eat a lot of sushi. Like as far as different types of fish, I don't eat. Like I'm not really a big fan of tuna and salmon. But I like crab, shrimp, things like that, and this place is just destroying. And last night it messed me up bad. Plus our car started having all these problems, and I'm sitting here trying to drive the kids to school, to college, and then all this other stuff. Drive the fiance to work and stuff, and it's just the car is just the thing that we paid for. The repairs we paid for, it's the same thing acting up again, and it's like,
oh man.
And it's the weekend, so I'm scared to death to drive the car. We only have one vehicle, so it's like, yay.
No.
And then on top of it, my fiance's sister and her kids play with my kid. My fiance's sister, she got COVID. So we're waiting for that fun.
COVID bad or COVID normal? COVID. COVID like a cold or COVID like a pneumonia?
I don't know how bad it's gotten so far yet. But it's enough to concern everybody. It's like, hey, my fiance's mom is quarantined and all this other stuff, man. And it's my daughter would like to say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
She's 8 years old.
Did you see that Elon Musk tweeted that he got 4 COVID tests? 2 of them came back positive and 2 of them came back negative.
Yeah, I saw that. He's like, what's up with that? Something doesn't add up.
I think you're all full of crap.
It's just looking like it. I mean, at least as far as the testing goes and things like that, man.
Yeah.
So where are you at on Lone Star with Mind of the Monster? How's the Indiegogo at now? What's our total?
Actually, I just refreshed. We are up to 11,717 with 187 backers. So I got 2 more backers in the last little bit of time.
Right on.
Right on. Thank you to every single backer, no matter how big or how small.
Every little bit counts.
Special thanks to the big ones. Yeah, and if you haven't checked, if you've ever gotten an email from me before regarding Lone Star, then you're on my mailing list, and there's a 33% discount for a certain tier on the mailing list. So please do check that out. Check it out. Check it out. Barbecue shrimps with olive oil and lemon parsley. Look, man, shellfish. Finding out that I had a shellfish allergy was devastating because I'm a foodie and shellfish is my food. It's like my favorite. Dungeness crab, freaking lobster, shrimp, like good shrimp. Not crab shrimp. I hate bad shrimp. Mutugai, giant clam, freaking clams, just regular, what do they call them, manila clams. Dude, I love shellfish, and I can't eat it. Can't have it. Damn it all. Yeah. The COVID tests, they say, as a high false negative test. So if you go by it, he has it, but PCR says it all. What is PCR? Was is the PCR?
What? I was about to backstab in this.
Anybody know? Nobody knows. Shellfish are the insects of the sea, Seven says. That's right. I love those giant insects they call lobsters. They look like, they do look like insects. Which, oddly, the same a shellfish allergy, it's not just stuff from the sea. I'm also allergic to snails, so I can't have escargot either. Kevin's like, that's disgusting. What? I ain't eating no snails. Shrimp are amazing, says Zach Richmond. Indeed they are.
Yeah. I've had snails before. I wasn't really impressed with them.
Really? So, how were they prepared?
It's been ages, man. I believe it was escargot.
Yeah, garlic butter and
yeah,
man, I love that stuff. But
it might have been a texture thing.
Yeah, a little chewy, like chewing on soft erasers. It's great.
I'm sorry, there's psycho.
He's muting himself because of the dogs. It's all right, Kevin. Don't worry about it. It's not like my kids aren't behind me banging away at keys playing video games. Mike says she sells seashells at the seashore 3 times and 3 times as fast. Oh, say it. She sells seashells at the seashore. She sells seashells down at the seashore. She sells seashells at the seashore. Erica Badu tested positive in one nostril and negative in the other. Seriously. I just wish we all knew the truth about all of this stuff. It's kind of annoying being fed false information. I need to score me some Geoduck again. Oh yeah, man, Mito Guy. Mito Guy is my favorite sushi, and it's like one of those things that they hardly ever even have at sushi restaurants, but it's so good, and can't have it. So such is life. Such is life. Who's on with Mike? The great one, Kevin Sharp. The great one. I wonder if this is a good. Try this. All right, that's better. Awesome. Now, what I'm using here, obviously, is a French curve. But if you look carefully, it has a bevel line on it. See how I know it's hard to see here. But there's a little piece of plastic that sticks out in the middle so that, see it now? So that it rises up off of the lip so that the ink, if I'm using a quill or something along these lines, the ink won't, hopefully, if you don't have too much ink on there, won't get under the lip and then spread out between your paper. Once in a while, once in blue moon, I do have a little whoopsie-doo moment, but that's what I do. That's what I'm doing. I hate that, man, when the ink just freaking bleeds in. It's like, oh, no! With escargot, just like aquatic mollusks, the time between perfectly cooked and chewy as leather is about 2 seconds. Kevin, your dog's getting out of hand there, buddy. It seems as though Kevin has left the building. Here, let's just we'll put him down there.
Oh no, I'm here. I just I got to step away just for a sec while we're on stream. Sorry about that, Mike.
No worries, bro. Oh, you said so. Had to step away for a second. Be right back. All right. Da-na-na-na-na. Look at that. You get 2 awesome art demonstrations for the price of 1, which that price is actually free. So for the price of none. Are you penciling right now or inking?
Right at the moment, penciling.
Okay, cool.
Had to get caught up on a page that I forgot to finish.
7 says, fish with scales and animals with cloven hooves that chew the cud, birds that don't prey, and maybe some locusts if I'm really hard up crying in the wilderness. All else is uncivilized, you heathen. Reed Troutman says, pros spot blacks. Tell that to Jeff Darrow. All right, Reed. If you don't know who Jeff Darrow is, then don't tell me what pros do. Sorry, I just know where that complaint comes from.
There's lots of guys that draw have a more open style, and
that's right.
They draw with open line style and things like that.
Yep.
You lean that way, but you got your blacks and everything.
I do my blacks where I feel they're necessary. And again, I'm drawing for color. I'm not drawing for... I've just been through it so much. I used to spot blacks heavily. You can go through my career, you can see it. But I got so sick of colorists not understanding why I was spotting blacks. And so I forget it. Just if you're going to color it, however you're going to color it, just do it. I'm sort of jaded.
Well, that's the thing. There's people that know how to do it and worry about light sources, and then there's people that just slap it down and they think it's cool. So, I'd rather someone, I follow people that actually know what they're doing versus whatever. And I'm having that problem. I mean, I want to learn, or I want to improve, do better with it and following light sources. A lot of people, they just don't get it. They just, it's the same thing with line work. Throwing a bunch of rendering down doesn't make it cool. A lot of pros can see through that. So
yeah, I'm sorry, but the adage, when in doubt, black it out. Oh my gosh, I freaking hate that. I hate it so much. It's like, no, when in doubt, figure it out.
Yeah.
When in doubt, black it out. That's like the laziest freaking concept in art. It's like, oh, I can't figure this out. I'm just gonna cover it up with a big block of ink. It's like, what?
Exactly.
It just drives me nuts. And I can't believe that got popularized. And Todd McFarlane, I think, is the one that popularized it. Oh yeah, whatever. When in doubt, black it out. Bruh.
Was it that or was it Alex Toth or somebody? I'm not sure.
Huh?
Was it Todd or was it Alex Toth or somebody in the back in the?
Oh, I don't know. And look, I'll grant it to people like back in the day where they were scraping by making $20 a page and they had to do 4 pages a day to make their freaking rent.
Yeah.
I'll grant that to them. But if you're living in a time where you're getting paid a decent rate, which, for some of us, that's never been a thing. But say you're making millions of dollars on a comic book and you still have the mentality of when in doubt, black it out. No, that is horrible. And you might think I'm thinking of somebody else, but I'm talking about Todd McFarlane.
Oh yeah. I just thought that quote came from, I don't know. I'm not sure. But guys like the older guys like Alex Toth and stuff, they knew what they were doing. And
yeah. But I think back to like Kirby, who's seriously, dude, that guy had to do like 4 pages a day just to keep the lights on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there was a transition. There was transition where it stopped being, this thing where we had to pump out pages, and then it became a money industry. It's the more money started to come in, like with right before the image artists got hot and stuff, and then people started putting more work. John Byrne started putting more work into it. George Perez, people like that. They started. John Buscema, you know what I'm saying. It became expected, I guess, is what I'm saying. Whereas guys had to crank out, 4 pages of rough stuff and do this consistently and things, and you don't have enough time. You just don't. You don't have enough time to really finesse it and strut whatever penciling stuff you have, and so it became a different industry when the image guys did it, because then it was all about the money and how flashy it looked, and then everything.
Let's not say it was all about the money, but when the image guys came in, I mean, look, when Jim offered me a spot at Wildstorm back in 93, dude, he's like, you're gonna do 1 page a day. And at the time, I was like, dude, I could do 3 pages a day easy, pencils back then.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're gonna do 1 page a day, and I'm just like, what would I do with the rest of my time? I didn't understand. just didn't make sense to me. But then you get someone like Travis in there.
Uh-huh.
He went from working on what was that, Star Brand or something over at DC?
Dark Stars.
Yeah, Dark Stars. To getting paid $1,000 a page to take however long he wanted on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then he starts cranking out this just epic, beautiful, gorgeous stuff because he slowed down and he just really, really paid attention to every centimeter on the page, and so it's I don't know, the all about the money thing is one thing, but the change in what you could do with comics if you're getting paid enough that you don't have to worry about making the mortgage, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You're getting so much money that you can do the absolute best you're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what somebody who's making hundreds of thousands of dollars on books through crowdfunding, that should be the renaissance, is that the art they're producing should be commiserate with the hundreds of thousands of dollars they're making. And if it's not, I don't know, they're missing out on an opportunity to do something that will be their best work ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I was just meaning in terms of being about the dollars. I mean, like the corporate end of things. Like, hey, so and so's flashy and big, and it's selling, and you got to keep it up, and keep the machine going as far as like the hot art and things like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like back in the '90s. There,
yep.
It was like, can you draw like Jim Lee? That was like the constant. It's like, brother.
But it
was. Mike, wake me up when bears have guns, says Jeremiah Jones. What? Soy-based Jeremy says, what's up, guys? Tedious task to ink. I don't find it tedious at all. I find it therapeutic. I love inking. Especially if my tools are agreeing with me. That's kind of a... And there's another what do you call it? A bonus for markers is, as long as you have a new good marker, it's pretty consistent. Dude, sometimes I'll just be inking with a quill, and out of the blue, it'll just be like, I'm gonna stop working now. What happened? It's like, I just don't feel like doing what you want me to do. I hate you. So, sort of a love-hate relationship with what I deem real tools. But yeah, if you find it tedious, I don't know, maybe you're thinking about it wrong or something. You know what I find tedious is I've worked for people who like when you just really don't like a project, but they're paying you well.
Oh.
And and you're like, I'm not going to quit because I'm getting paid really well, but I hate this book.
I don't know what that's like. I really wish I did know.
Oh.
Yeah, my page rates weren't terribly high. I will say I was paid better on the creative services stuff, though. Every now and then you get something where it would be like plus 25% of your rate added extra, things like that, and then you'd go, oh yeah, I like getting paid like this.
Yeah. Well, also once in a while you'll someone will have a vanity project. It'll be somebody who's got enough money that they can pay you whatever. It's like, you don't want to work on this book, but hey, if I add an extra $100 per page for whatever, it's like, yeah, sure, if you can pay me that much, I'll take it. And then they're like, sure. So you take the job, and then you're like, oh, why did I take this job? Oh yeah, money.
Yes.
And then you just hate it.
I will say there's been something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to get excited. I try to look for little things that, hey, um, this may not be up my alley, but is there a little something that I would enjoy drawing, or something that I could make it my own? And my fiance is whispering over to me. She's going, Resident Evil. Yeah, it was a pain. Yeah, that was a rough one. But anyway, there's some things I try to look for the good in it, though. I do, but sometimes it's really hard to find it.
Someone's asking me, why don't I teach you how to ink like a badass? Because that was the name of John Malin's stream last night.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I saw the title of it, and I thought it was funny. But
yeah, that was very John.
Yep.
I wouldn't understand. I don't understand the concept of inking like a badass. So, sorry, I'll just have to ink like a professional of highest caliber, maybe.
What are some people I would describe maybe as doing some badass inks, maybe?
Yeah, I just wouldn't use that as a title for my show.
Yeah.
No, and he's not made for centuries.
And yeah, I was not. I sort of disagreed with some of the stuff John was doing, but I'm like, I just had this don't respect the teacher in his dojo mentality. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's got an opinion. Apparently, he's got a following that thinks it's badass. So, who am I to argue?
Yeah, John's a good artist. I'm not saying anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just that I disagree with some of the stuff he does. So. But art is subjective. What he finds to be badass, I would just look at it and go, all right. Don't disrespect the teacher in his dojo.
Yeah, exactly. I get that. I don't have an issue.
And it's too bad you missed it. He kept asking. He's like, does somebody have a script? Not you, Mike. He's like, does someone? Because he wanted to show people how to lay out a page.
Okay.
I guess like a badass. And he's like, does anyone? I'm looking for not you, Mike, not anybody but Mike Miller have a script. Not you, Mike. But at the end of the day, he said nobody had a script. So he's like, all right, Mike, do you have a script? So I sent him the script for the first page of Lone Star. And
okay.
He did a pretty good layout for it. So
Okay, the only one you get.
it was fun.
I
I posted that up on Twitter today. Ink like milk toast with Mike Miller, says Jeff.
Oh no!
It's all right. People can make their little jokes. Jeff. Milk toast is delicious, by the way. Just kidding. I've never had it. That sounds gross.
Well, my stream would be faking Great Inkers with a Pen by Kevin Short.
How to kill a horse with an axe. It's the stream.
My baby's dead.
What time is it, boys? Thanks for not checking for me. 5:20. Ooh, can somebody go get mommy up? Tell her it's 5:23 already. I will be trying to ink until the latest possible moment. And again, thank you everybody who's backing the book, Lone Star, Mind of the Monster. Appreciate every backer. Check it out here. It is Kim Jong-gi cover, 11,717 right now. Yeah, it's enough for now. I know I should be shilling. I should shill 24 hours a day. But
There's a tower on the left.
I want to draw on ink. Belliander says it was quite fun seeing how you approached that layout differently. Yeah, it was fun seeing. For me, it was fun seeing how John approached it differently. Yeah, I think I made a point in the chat that he was complaining that there wasn't enough room for word balloons because I filled up all of the space with art. But to me, there's important art and there's not important art, but I fill up the space regardless, right? So I don't care if you cover it. Like there's this one panel and it was like the mother's belly, the baby being born, and then on the other half of the panel was the top of the nursemaid's head. And I don't care about the top of the nursemaid's head. That's where the word balloon should go. But I'm not just going to leave it blank because, anyways, I'm not precious about it once it goes to letters.
Yeah, and there's a different, I guess different situations call for different approaches. Like what Mike was saying, and then I'm doing a page right here where the character bursts through a big. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but the character bursts through a big gate, and there's all this rubble flying and stuff falling, like sort of almost anime-esque, where they do the slow montage, or not montage, but it's the slow motion, the debris falling and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's so much debris. I know I can cover up anything here, and it's not going to matter, Right. And so certain details are important, certain things aren't. You can leave it open. You can leave a panel open if you want, but some people just feel like it. If you're trying to tell a story and some important elements need to be in there, then they need to be in there, and you do your best to work around what you're going to leave open for word balloons and what the important stuff is.
Yeah. Yep. Jeremiah says, you spoil us enough already, Kevin. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Dragon says, so should I post my colors over Mike's, Siege's, Weldon's, and some others for critiques? We're not doing I wasn't planning on doing a critique show tonight. Like I said, if I have time to come back, I'd like to do the auctions. But I don't know for sure yet what's happening. It was a little... Hey, have either of you done what I just asked you to do? Huh?
Oh.
Now it's 5:30.
Michael's supposed to do it, but I guess he's too late. We're going at 6:30.
6:30?
Yeah.
Thought it was 6.
Yeah, I didn't know the exact time I told him.
Oh, okay. Well, then we have more time.
All right.
But that also pushes back my return, so probably auctions. It'll be too late for auctions tonight. If you want to come and hang out and do some art, though, I'm down with that.
All right.
It'd be fun if I could finish this double-page spread tonight. Who's selling their soul on the auctions? Well, I guess nobody. Probably too late for most people for the auctions.
But if you want a nifty Lone Star and Fighting American and my character Aetheron, feel free to contact me. Pretty nifty.
Did you finish it?
Well, I'm working on it.
Oh.
What did we set it?
Lone Star's finished for the most part.
Nice.
I mean, if you don't count some wrinkles in his knees, pretty much finished.
Yeah, I'd like to finish mine too, because I love the concept of it, of having all those Super Patriot characters together on one page.
It was looking good. I hate you.
Artie Bear says, congrats on Lone Star, Mike. Thank you, Art. Appreciate that, brother.
Oh, is Art in the chat?
He's in the chat.
All right, long time no see, man.
I know, right? Mark Anthony says, and for what price?
Oh, is Mark Anthony interested? Tell him to contact me. I can't see any of the chat. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can see the chat.
I think he may be starting an auction right now.
Yep, exactly.
How do you know there's hacking?
Unless he was talking about Mike, and I understand that completely because Mike's cool. Mike's a scooter.
I'll keep an eye on the chat. He says, "Are we?" Art says you are very much welcome. Yeah, man. For sure. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. He says, I mean, if you're serious.
Which one of us?
He's talking to you, not me. I didn't say I was putting mine up for auction.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could, but then I'd have to finish it, and I want to work on Lone Star.
It's a pretty piece too, man. I really like that one page you showed us. And never got a good look at it though. With the horses, there's one with the foreshortened horse in the not the double page spread. Or well, no, wait a minute. Maybe I'm confused with something. But there was one that you showed us with a foreshortened horse and a bunch of warriors behind him. But there's another page that sort of looks like that, and I think I'm getting them confused.
Yeah, that's actually that's the page before this double page spread.
Oh, okay.
It's actually on the campaign. Here,
I loved it.
I'll scroll it down. You can see it. This one.
Yeah, there was one that seemed like am I crazy, or was there another page that's sort of like that, but the horse was really animated and running towards us, not necessarily just, it's almost like a standing pose or a trot that you got going on there. Maybe I'm crazy. It might be the same page.
No, so crazy.
I just remember it was really, really awesome. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, the details, all the armor and stuff, it's crazy. Maddening. Maddening, I tell you.
Let's see. Yes?
No, I guess not. Maybe I'm confusing it with the other one, but I thought for some reason that the horse had like a really animated mouth, like they were running towards us in battle or something. I could have misinterpreted it because I only saw it for a few seconds. You flashed it and then went on. Somebody interrupted you, or you went on to something else, and I was like, "Oh crap!" Yeah, maybe it is that. I just love that page. Yeah, dude, I love that.
All right, Nighthawk.
Why is there?
Where is Gary? I think Gary is on his own streaming right now. In fact,
Okay. I think we can do that.
oh no, that's the that's the Malin one. Where's Gary?
Yeah, friendly server.
I thought he was.
Look what I've
But
done.
maybe not.
Sorry.
All right, let's go back to Lone Star, Mind of the Monster.
I got that covered.
Ah, come on, stop. All right. Oops. Oh wait, that's an old one.
Amazing. The medic just came over stabbing.
11, 7, 17. Bah.
Yay, we're almost to 12.
Almost.
Keep pushing it,
12.
everybody.
I'll just
Oh, Gary isn't live anymore. He had things to do. All right. Thanks, Nighthawk.
no more centuries, please.
Do colors? What?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do colors devalue line art? I don't know how they would. Why would colors devalue line art? It's an interesting thought.
You should get a sound
Me?
clip.
Mike that.
Get a sound clip from what?
You should get a sound clip or a video clip of the principal from Back to the Future going, "You're a slacker." Play it every time Gary cuts and runs.
Oh.
Rib him a little bit. "You're a slacker."
Yeah. Why is he always cutting and running, that kid?
It's like he's got something important to do or something.
I don't know.
It's like crazy. How dare he have something important to do?
Yeah.
Century
Isn't
has
being
too
on
much-
my show the most important thing in his life? Probably not. All right, let's line these up. I'm just making up patterns here as I go. Do I have to have patterns on my Mongolian horde? No. But really, yes, I do. Didn't that guy ever have hair? Oh, that's from
Come on, bro, you can see-
I did a long time ago.
not you. He's talking about Back to the Future. The principal.
Oh yeah, exactly. Principal Strickland.
Apparently not.
Dude played the same character no matter what movie. I think he was playing the same character in He-Man. He was in the Masters of the Universe movie and played the same dang character.
Really?
I was just waiting for him to call He-Man a slacker. I just so the only thing that would have made it.
Worth watching?
Yeah. It's awful. Man, there's so many He-Man fans that like I'll say that and they'll get mad at me because I hate that movie.
Yeah. I wasn't thrilled with it either.
There were so many decisions made, and it was like you just went, "Why did you do this?" I mean, it's nothing like the property. Well, why did you do this? And I understand, the budgets and this and that, but man, there were some dumb things. Like the guy playing Man at Arms, his armor was pretty close to the toy. He wasn't built like him, obviously, but he kind of looked like the dad from Family Ties. But he had the armor and stuff, and they made it blue, made his outfit blue, and I was like,
Not give him a second.
could make it
Spinning
copper or I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, he's orange in the.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, copper and green, give him a green bodysuit and a blue one.
So just a weird decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. There are some line artists that clearly rely on colors to make their lines work, which tends to be overly busy and contrastless, making it really hard to discern what the drawing is of. Well, it all depends on the colorist, man. Are you familiar with Eagles of Rome by Enrico Marini? I think your art would look good with that style of color. No, I am not. Joe, can you send it to me on the Discord or something? Ugh.
Sure seems like it.
Oh my gosh, I need some more coffee.
It's not the most convenient times.
Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Also, the toy line was dying off due to She-Ra at that point in 1987.
Yeah, they were trying to get it, give it a little boost, but a lot of the movie figures didn't even sell either, so it just kept having problems.
That movie was what, 86?
87, I think it was. I
87?
think.
It's around the same time that Stone was doing Cobra, right?
See, 3 people are not.
Probably. I want to say it was right around then. And then I don't know exactly the lore, but apparently, like, Cyborg, that Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Oh yeah.
movie was supposed to be actually the sequel to Masters of the Universe, and they just reworked it because it did bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's very bizarre because
That came out in '89.
yeah.
Remember that?
And they Canon was just doing cost cutting anywhere they could. It's like, let's just reuse the script and reuse this and blah 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 blah.
I wonder if they already had part of it shot.
I don't know.
Yeah, that dude was the main bad guy in Cyborg, was a surfer from Hawaii that my brother knew.
Oh, cool. Meet all of these people, and I never do the West Coast cons because I can't afford to go out. And I'm a big chicken.
Yeah.
I can't fly, man. I'm so scared.
You're scared of flying?
Yes.
You're not afraid of driving?
Nope.
Well,
my general, obviously people will come up with reasons why I'm wrong, but my thing is I can control it, and there's more of a chance I'll get out of a car wreck than a plane wreck. Once the plane goes down, you're going down.
right.
So I guess that's why I'm just afraid of heights anyway. I get really messed up. So
Interesting.
like I could stand on a chair and get woozy and messed up. Not like crying, mind you, but
Kevin, man. Poor Kevin.
Oh,
How do you
Oh,
start
well.
in college?
It's all right, man. We still love you.
I hope so.
Zach says, statistically speaking, flying is still the safest way to travel.
Thank you, Clark, or Superman.
It's even safer than space shuttles. I mean, statistically speaking.
Yes.
Although I'm sticking with the Challenger was a fraud bit, so. But we don't need to go there today.
Oh, okay. You'll have to tell me about that later because I don't know anything about it.
Oh no! Seriously, you missed that whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, all those guys are still alive. All the people that were all the so-called astronauts on Challenger are still alive today. They didn't even change their freaking names.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe we'll save that for tonight's show.
Yeah.
We can delve into that again. You know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab some coffee. Can you not mute yourself for a minute?
Okay, yeah. I can keep on talking. I'll do my very, very best. Hello, everybody. So I am going to try to keep you guys entertained as much as I can. Eventually, I will be doing my own live stream again as soon as I can. So anybody asking, or maybe not asking, I don't know. Okay, I can't answer the NASA stuff, so I'm going to let you guys keep on talking on that one because I haven't heard that theory. So. Opie dog, yeah, dude, that's as far as I understand everything too, man. So I hear you. And let's see. We're working on it, Nighthawk Warrior. I can't give a firm date just yet.
I killed like 2 people, and I was so close to the accident.
And let's see here. Yeah, fake news. Oh, yeah. Well, I did get in. Well, shoot. Real quick. for everybody. I want to keep you watching. Whoops! Just got these in Friday. Here we go. We got in lovely Elliot Fernandez Prince and Mr. Matthew Weldon for your perk.
Oh yeah.
So we just got those in. So happy day, and Mr. Miller's back with us, so I don't have to try real hard to entertain everybody now.
Hey, let me see that Lone Star you did.
Oh yeah, sure. Hold on. Give me just a moment.
Seven says, but yeah, the Challenger crews still appear to be alive and well. It's true. It's one of those what the heck things when you look it up for yourself. You'll have the Pantalina cover relatively soon, right? I can't imagine you'll receive it on the last day like a certain someone.
Oh,
Right. He said he'd have it to me soon. Kiwi Comics says, they look pretty good for dead people.
my camera just went.
Bling, 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 ding, 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 ding.
Okay, that should be shown.
But why would they fake that? Qui bono here? I don't know what qui bono here means. Why would they fake it? It's a good question, isn't it? I would say follow the money and see where it leads. What is the benefit of faking the Challenger? Making that all go kablooey. Was is the benefit? Fake your way to the top. Kung Fu Kitty says, I'm one of, quote, those people who think the 1969 moon landing was probably faked. My mom thinks so too, and my dad shakes his head at us both. I am with you. I also think that the 1969 moon landing was faked. When you ask the question, why would they fake that, you get a very simple answer: propaganda. All right, let me see the whole. Can you get it far enough back to see the whole thing?
Yeah.
I just want to see the Lone Star part, not the rest.
Yeah, gotcha. Let's see. It sucks. It's got a really short arm.
He's got midget arm.
No, I meant the camera arm that I'm using. I had to buy something really rinky-dink from Walmart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I apologize. I'm trying to get this all in here.
Skull, you don't have a line.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the hard, fast reality of it. Is Russia was kicking our freaking butt at the space race, so we needed something to show that we were ahead of them. And propaganda. Roscoe says, I'm on the fence with regards to the moon landing. Arguments against it very strong, but counter arguments also seem solid. There's a BBC documentary called Something Funny Happened on the Way to the Moon. I recommend everybody check that out and make up their own mind. Ooh, Seven says the space race. Reagan won the Cold War by bankrupting the Soviet Union. Maybe that's why. Entirely possible.
I was totally.
What is that music? Why do I have that music in my head? Yeah, why wouldn't Russia debunk our claim to winning the moon race? How would they debunk it?
The bleeding now, man.
I mean, The BBC pretty much debunked it. But at the time, I mean, it was 1969, so it was pretty good propaganda for us. I don't think the Russians, had access to our television stations to debunk it. So even if Russia was over there in Russia debunking it, which I guarantee they were, I'm positive Russia was over there saying, "This is bull crap. There's no way. You can't get tiny spacecraft through cosmic rays without killing astronauts." They were probably saying all that stuff in Russia, but again, it was 1969, and who would listen to them in America?
I was revenge shaky. Savor my bullets in your head.
Oh, that's why I have that music in my head. It's on that your game. That like Russian thing. Is that heavy?
Anyone.
Oh, really?
You have to buy it.
Jeff Putt says, "You do realize my grandfather was involved in the 60s space program, right?" No, I didn't realize that. I'll tell you what, though. I had a friend who works at NASA, and I asked him, "Is everything there compartmentalized?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "So nobody really knows what anybody else is really doing?" He's like, "Yep." So you could have someone thinking they're working on a ship that's going to Mars, and they're being told they're working on a ship that's going to Mars, and they're told that they're part of a team working on a ship that's going to Mars, and that ship could never go to Mars. I'm not saying that's what's happening now. I'm saying that compartmentalization is a common tactic in that kind of program where people think they're working on something, and so they don't have any reason to think they're not working on it, but the powers that be are the ones that are really determining what they're working on.
No.
Have you ever seen the third Transformers movie? They were covering up an alien. Sorry, it moved. Alien ship there. Well, the alien thing is a whole different bag of worms. Can of worms? Can of worms. Who puts worms in cans? That's another thing. What's with the worms in cans thing? Why are people always putting worms in cans? Now you're going to tell me that the Earth is a decahedron. Kung Fu Kitty says, "Yeah, I absolutely think a lot of people at NASA genuinely thought it was real and weren't trying to fool anyone." Yeah, I'm sure. Look, the technology they were building or they were working on, they don't have a bunch of scientists sitting around, twiddling their thumbs, pretending like they're working on engineering and technology. They're working on it. It's just the total application, I seriously don't think was for, at least not the 1969 moon landing. I think we got there eventually. I just don't think. I think that first one was just like, we got to beat the Russians. We got to beat the Russians, and so we just. It's so funny because I make this argument all the time. 2 questions. Does the government lie? Every single person says yes. And then my second question, who runs NASA? The government. So it's like somehow the people have convinced themselves that NASA is not is above government coercion. And it's like, bruh, NASA is the government. Yes, the government lies, and NASA is owned by the government. Like, correct. If we got to the moon, why did we stop, and why haven't we been back in 45 years? I don't know. You ever spent like a lot of money going on vacation somewhere, and then you get there, and you're like, wow, this place sucks. So I guess you're taking the position that we never even got to the moon. Is that correct?
Uh-oh.
Joke's on you. Wait. The Russians returned the favor in 2016 with what? What did the Russians do? What's funny is I've seen Chinese like orbital what do you call it? Footage of the Chinese going to the moon and like having a spaceship like slingshot around the moon. And it's so obviously CG, but this was a Chinese footage, and I'm like, wow, this is
It's so bad.
it's so bad. It's like, dude, why would you put this out there? It's like, no, this is real. We really go. It's very, very good rocket. Go around the moon. It's like people have been making this crap up. Countries have been making this crap up since the 60s. Very good, I tell you. I know I'm totally doing a Japanese accent for Chinese because I'm terrible at accents.
So do you think
Cheyenne
that
says,
go
Cheyenne
ahead.
says, I think send a drone. Nighthawk Warrior says Mars, not moon. Oh, was that Chinese film footage Mars? It's supposed to be Mars. Coffee. Black. No sugar, no milk. Will Lone Star live on the moon like Total Recall with Arnold? Not in any planned story I have at this moment. But never say never. Roscoe says there was a Chinese spacewalk they filmed and you could see bubbles. Those are space bubbles. Hello. Obviously, governments and space organizations don't lie to us. So those were space bubbles. Brand new thing you never even knew about. Yep, da 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 da. Seven says he'd be called Lunar Star. Jiminy says if we'd really been to the moon, we'd have never stopped continuing to do so, especially for almost half a century. Well, it ain't cheap, and there's not much to do there. You know, I'm not gonna. Look, you may be right, Jiminy. You may be right. We may have never gone to the moon. I don't know, but I think I don't have a powerful enough telescope. But I've heard people say they have private telescopes powerful enough that they can look at the moon and see the lander tracks and stuff on the moon, which if that's true, then that's a little hard to fake, I would think. I'm sure Kevin agrees with me, although he's not saying anything. Fact is, the moon is a harsh mistress, says Joe Marone. The moon is a harsh mistress. Yes, she is. I'd imagine if we did, there wasn't a point in returning since then. Yeah, it's like, hey, are we out of moon rocks? Can we go get some more rocks from the moon? Because that was totally worth what in today's dollars would be billions of tax dollars. Yeah. Let's go get some more rocks. Totally worth it. Next person on the moon, Elon Musk. he's gonna take COVID there. It's called a callback. Is Svarog considered to the Joker to Lone Star's Batman, or does another villain occupy that role? I have my Joker, so to speak, is called the Piano Man, and he's a, I don't know if he's gonna be a Lone Star villain, but oh shoot, no, I can't have him be an I don't know. I got to think about that, about how I'm going to use him, because I do want to do him. You know what? Maybe I should think about doing him as as like a standalone. Except he's kind of a murderer, so I don't want him to be a hero character. But it might be fun to just do his story. He was a world-class pianist, but the mob broke both of his hands, and so he became sort of an anti-mob, sort of an, kind of like the Punisher, I guess. Make him an anti-hero. Yeah, but I want him to be like, have gotten a little crazy. He's a little crazy, since it all happened. Yeah, maybe I'll make him an anti-hero. But that's the thing. It's hard to have an anti-hero who you're like rooting for, who's kind of a psychopath who kills people by strangling them to death with piano wire. Yeah. Not sure how I want to play that out, but I do like the character. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Got this wire wrapped around your throat. Soon it's not gonna feel right. Was that grim? I don't know.
It just depends on what you're using it for. What it applies to.
Yeah. Honestly, the only reason I created him was because I love drawing the Joker, but I don't want to just do the Joker as a character, So my character, he's basically, because when I draw the Joker, I tend to try to draw Jerry Lee Lewis. So what I'm doing is basically doing a Jerry Lee Lewis character, but he's the piano man. So instead of, I'm not copying the Joker, I'm copying Jerry Lee Lewis, except for when I draw the Joker, I'm kind of trying to draw Jerry Lee Lewis. So it's just drawing from the same inspiration.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in terms of style, like, the clothes he wears and the hair, that big floppy hair. I like to do that curly floppy hair on the Joker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I get that all from Jerry Lee Lewis, and so that's dang, that dude's like freaking 85 years old or something. Still around. I just saw a video of him talking to somebody.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Jim O'Reilly? Lone Star 4, Lone Star versus the Moon Men. It'll be Lone Star versus the Climate Deniers. No, wait. I'd be there. I do have to decide what I want to do after Lone Star 4, though there's a possibility that it may be delayed because of another project I can't talk about.
Oh, you got another one? Cool, man.
Possibly. I mean, I don't like to say anything until contracts are signed, but
yeah,
could be another pretty cool opportunity.
What?
Dude, you're killing it finding all these cool gigs with YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you wanna, find different ways to reach new people out there. Because clearly the old people who are supposed to be a comic book community don't care actually about good comics. Like Lone Star 3. So, secret, I've got a secret.
Sweet. Well, besides spilling the beans about particular projects that you can't, what's in your crosshairs after you do Mind of the Monster? What Blacklist?
Immediately after Mind of the Monster, I'll be picking up the second Shadow of the Conqueror issue.
Ah, okay, cool.
So that's the thing is it might be a while before I can get at least back on my own Blacklist Universe stuff. I might be able to hire other people to do some Blacklist Universe stuff, but if this other project happens, it'll be Mind of the Monster, and then that other project, and then the next not Mind of the Monster. It'll be the next Shadow of the Conqueror, and then this other project if it happens, and then the third Shadow of the Conqueror, and then that would be a time for me to get back on my next Blacklist Universe project.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're fast enough. You're gonna be on it in no time.
Gotta keep on keeping on, yo. But I'll tell you off air.
Oh, okay, cool, man.
Actually, I can tell you in the private chat, huh?
I guess that's one way of doing it.
All right, hold on a second.
You're going down for killing me.
Where was it? I have it in here.
Ow! Aki.
All right, you can read it now. When's Atomic Family and God's Sword back? That's a good question too.
Okay, cool. I don't know who that is, but I will check it out.
All right. I think it would be a good move, especially in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look it up. See if I can figure it out. I'm not hip with all the popular YouTube folks.
Hold on a second. Let me. What has changed? Answer nothing. What? Oh, you're still talking about the moon landing. How many pages do each of the Lone Star books run? 48, Kung Fu Kitty. 48 books each. Hey, looks like I got 3 new contributions to Lone Star. Let's give it a spin and see what that brings us to. Oh, we are only $57 away from 12K, ladies and gentlemen. $57 away from 12K. If you would be so kind, if you would be so kind, if you have not already, to chip your tip in the dip, or something like that. I don't know how to say it. Oh, cool. Well, somebody just got the mailing list secret tier, which is a 33% discount. Then a couple other people got individual issues. So cool. Thank you, everybody. Very much appreciate it. If you have not gotten your mailing list secret tier email, then do check your junk folders and all that kind of stuff. Lone Star Fist to the Fascist, says 7. That's not a bad one at all. Lone Star 4, The Awakening. Lone Star 4, The Last Jedi. Are you going to do the thing where 3 pages are used as a tease for the future, like with Golden Dr. Manhattan last time? No, there's no future teases in this. It's 48 solid stories, solid story pages with no future teasers. Except there's a couple epilogues, so I think you could actually consider that to be some future teases. So, but these future teases would be more immediate future teases. So maybe things that lead up to the second trilogy. I'll have to play out the entire second trilogy before I do that. I already know what it is in terms of my vampire trilogy, my original vampire trilogy idea. I'm not entirely sure I want to run it all the way through because in my original vampire trilogy, the entire world was overrun by vampires. So, yeah, I'll have to make that decision. For people who are not familiar, Lone Star is actually the combining of 3 different stories that I had previously. One was obviously the Iron Cross. Lone Star was actually created to be the nemesis of the Iron Cross because my perception is that your hero is only as cool as your villain, right? Like that's why I never liked Iron Man growing up because his rogues gallery sucked. Go brush your teeth.
Yeah.
So I thought, Lone Star, he's got the best villain on earth. He's got evil Superman as his villain. And so I combined the Iron Cross story with my sort of G.I. Joe Unknown Soldiers story. It was sort of G.I. Joe meets James Bond. That was kind of the Unknown Soldiers origin story. And then my other one was a vampire trilogy that I had written out called Bloodborne. This was obviously before the Bloodborne movie even came out, or the Bloodborne game came out. And so in combining those 3, I created this uber rich background tale for Lone Star that, I'm only at the first part with this story arc, with this 3 issue story arc. So there's a lot of room to go, but I'm gonna have to decide if I really want to go into the vampire apocalypse for a Lone Star story, because now Lone Star is part of a greater universe, and if I do that, then I have to deal with the repercussions of the vampire apocalypse on the entire Blacklist universe. Decisions. In other words, I didn't just pull this story out of my butt because I decided to, make money crowdfunding. Not saying anybody else did. I'm just saying I didn't. Kevin, sweet.
Yeah, I have a rough idea who you're talking about.
All right.
So it hit me now that you described it. I was like, oh, okay.
Cool. Are there more than one Lone Star? Like, does he pass the torch to another person to become the new hero as Lone Star? No, Lone Star is just his nickname. It's when he was a kid in the Navy. He'd have a buddy from. It's like having a friend, somebody in your unit from California and calling him Hollywood. He's from Texas, so his sergeant called him Lone Star. He's from the Lone Star State, and so that's just kind of, and all of the Unknown Soldiers. That's where their names come from. Scout, Killjoy. I mean, not Killjoy's obviously not because he's from. Pastor because he's always preaching to people, stuff like that. So Hothead because he's a freaking hothead. No, that'd be Lone Stars. Solid continuity used to be a selling point for Marvel. Look how that turned out. Yeah, well, I like continuity, so.
Yeah. Same here.
Hey, man, if we could hit 12,000 before I go to dinner, I would love it. Love and appreciate it from all of y'all. So I only need another $57 and my 191st backer. If you care about comics, if you care about the future of comics, then you should care about backing people with a real vision and a real love for the medium and a real desire to see this medium grow in the future and not just, fill my pockets with wads of dollar bills. This is my chosen career. This is my path and my vision. And I'll do it with or without anybody. But if there's people out there who, they agree that their purpose as a fan, even as part of a movement, you might say, is to save comics, then put your money where your mouth is. It's not about internet personalities. It's about the medium. It's about backing people who are producing solid work for the medium and trying their damnedest to keep this hobby alive for the next generation. And that, of course, is Kevin Sharp.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I just, it's about the fans, man, and I really just, hope we can give people really awesome books, awesome artwork to look at, awesome storytelling, things that, where things are getting dire. We want to keep it going, keep it alive, give you cool stuff. That's always been, what I wanted to do here. People told me I couldn't work on the properties I wanted to work on. I hinted as much that I would be kind of not welcome. And, I with the thing with Dragon Guard is to make sure I do what I love, do the kind of characters, archetypes, genre that I love. And same thing with Mike. Mike's doing amazing pages. You guys are seeing it live in Memorex, man. You're looking at great stuff, dude.
This is the future of comics right here. It's like you're watching it being made. I don't know what's going to happen to Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
I'm not celebrating their downfall.
Yeah.
I grew up with Marvel and DC. I was a Make Mine Marvel kid.
Yeah.
But obviously I spent most of my career at DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to see them go anywhere. But if they're going somewhere and, AT&T and Disney decide that they are no longer worth the effort, which, I honestly, I couldn't blame AT&T or Disney for saying that because their businesses, their intention is to make money. and obviously the intention of Marvel and DC the past 20 years has not been to make money. But that leaves it to people like Kevin and I, and people who truly believe in this art form and want to see it thrive. And no, again, I don't mean to harp on this, but we're not here. It's not about filling our bank account, right? I'm trying to build a future for this medium. And, people may say I'm a freaking dork or an idiot or unfunny or whatever it is, or whatever the insult du jour is, in part because I say I do want to save comics. I'm passionate about it, and I'm not saying that my comic is going to save comics, right? But I'm saying that saving comics is like an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? Freaking get a scoopful and one bite at a time. And I'm going to eat my share of the elephant to save comics. And as fans, as actual real fans of the comic book medium, you guys got to take your bites. You guys, I can't do it without the fans. Kevin can't do it without the fans because, look, either of us could go into video games and probably make twice as much money as we make, well, more than twice as much money as we made in working for Marvel and DC, but probably at least twice as much as we make in crowdfunding. But we're not, because we're here for the medium. We love the medium. And we're doing our part. So as fans, you guys got to do your parts too. Mike, can you say all that again, but say it like Liam? What we're doing here is too important. No,
Don't even get me started.
I'm not delusional that I'm going to save comics. I'm saying that if comics is going to be saved, it's gonna have to be a team effort by a lot of people. Most importantly, well, I'm going to say equally importantly to the creators are the fans, right? Because they're the ones buying it and keeping it alive. And by a fan buying more than just one copy for himself, they're adding the bricks that build the foundation that further this endeavor. And so, I'm not really I'm not the sit here and rah kind of guy, but it is really, it's vital. It's vital to me. It's vital to Kevin, I know.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's my speech.
Absolutely, I agree. I absolutely love this stuff. This is what I wanted to do. The excitement for it. You guys are giving me the chance to do the genre of things that I like and be able to afford it. And man, that's where it's at. And check out Lone Star, man, because it's a great looking book. So I want to give you quality looking stuff. Not run of the mill, hey, I'm just new to comics and slap something out there on Indiegogo. I mean, it's people that love it, been doing it for a while. New to publishing maybe, but not new to comics, not new to comic storytelling. And, I freaking love this book. Excuse my language. I love drawing what I'm drawing, and it's a rare chance. And I know you just look at Lone Star, all the attention and the love Mike puts in it. Check it out. Share the link. Tell your friends about it.
Yeah, and honest, this is look, if things do change, it does seem like a lot of people are coming into this space, right?
Yeah.
A a lot of those people are going to fail. A lot of those people are not going to deliver. A lot of those people are going to, they're going to set their funding goal for $500 because they see guys like me and a bunch of other guys doing that because we know that we can get at least enough to fund. Look, man, I've made $11,943 on this. I could do this entire book for that amount of money, right? The printing and the shipping, if I only have this many sales, that's plenty for printing and shipping, and coloring, frankly. But sorry, mid thought, my wife's saying we gotta go.
Oh,
So everybody, do your part, please. Let me see if anybody was motivated by my motivational speaking to back it. And no, nobody cares. Nobody cared enough to get it over 12,000 during my speech. Comics are doomed. Just kidding. All right. So this is
love, everybody. Come on.
This is all we got. I gotta get going. Gonna go have dinner. I'll be back and streaming after tonight. So or after dinner. So God bless everybody. God bless you, Kevin. We'll see you guys tonight.
All right. See you, everybody.